Hey guys, I'm Marta Geek. In this video, I want to share with you a comparison video between all my handheld devices, and I also want to share one of my decisions that I'm gonna be making with these devices because, like you guys know, I got the MSI Claw 8i Plus like almost a month ago. I've been really enjoying it. This thing is very good. This thing is a beast. But the thing is that all these devices are purchased by me. I don't receive these devices for free, so the money come out of my pocket. So of course, to afford stuff, usually I sell my old stuff that I'm not using so I can cover the price for the new stuff and for the future stuff or devices that are going to be coming out. So I have to make a decision here, and I'm going to make it on this video. So, and I want to share that with you as well. So let's go ahead and start with the Steam Deck right here because it's the oldest device, right? And there's a reason why you guys haven't seen too much videos of the Steam Deck on my channel, and that's since I have the Legion Go, and it's because the Steam Deck is really good and really awesome, and I still recommend it to buy in 2026, especially if you're coming from consoles and you just want to play some PC games or a lot of PC games that are actually play here. I really recommend to actually go to the Steam store, and every game that you see with the green mark right there, that means verified, or the ones that are yellow that says playable. If you see those games and you're like, you know what, I'm okay with all those games and I can, have a lot of fun with all those type of games that are compatible here, I really recommend to buy this device. And this right here is the OLED 7.4 inch OLED. 800p 90 hertz, which is still pretty damn good. And of course, the price of this is actually $549. You could, from $549, there's other more expensive when it comes to the storage, makes it more expensive. And I think there's a limited edition as well that goes, I think, almost $1,000. I think it's less than $1,000, but this is still a good device. But it is a little bit limited when it comes to playing the latest and greatest AAA games. But this is where this comes. Of course, the MSI Claw is 8 inches. This is 1920 by 1200p, 120 hertz, VRR. And the great thing is that it's a 16 by 10, just like this. And it's really good, very powerful. And the great thing about it is that right now it has the Windows Xbox full experience, which is awesome. And I can install games from a lot of launchers out there, and especially native Xbox Game Pass games here. That's something that I really love, and that's the reason why I haven't been using this as the Legion Go, because I love the openness of Windows. Even before the Xbox full experience, I still preferred Windows because it's more open and I have the liberty to install games from Xbox Game Pass, Ubisoft, Epic, and all that. And I just like tinkering, right? So I do prefer the MSI Claw. But of course, if you don't like that tinkering and you want to save some money, I still recommend to buy this. But if I would have to sell one of these two, I would definitely have to sell the Steam Deck because like I said, I don't use it since the Legion Go, and I can actually still sell it for a good price and cover some of the expenses for my device that I just purchased. So now, what about the ROG Xbox Ally X? I've been using this device since day one, since it came out. But of course, I haven't been using this lately since I got my MSI Claw because I really love the big screen. And of course, this right here has a 7-inch screen, 1080p screen. And the number one thing I don't like is that 16 by 9 makes it feel like a smaller screen than the 16 by 10, which I love. Ergonomic wise, this is king. This ergonomically wise, this is better than almost every single device that I have right here. But still, the MSI Claw has very good ergonomics as well, so I can't complain about that. And also, they're both Windows, but of course the hook that this had with the Xbox full experience is there no more, because this also has the Xbox full experience out of the box as well. So this is an Xbox and this is an Xbox. The only difference is which one is the best Xbox. And in my opinion, personal preference, I do prefer the MSI Claw 8 because the screen is bigger. I love the 8 inches, the 16 by 10. And of course, this has 32 gigabytes of RAM versus 24 gigabytes of RAM. When it comes to battery life, they're both basically the same, 80 watts each. And of course, the one huge difference is that this is AMD Ryzen AI Z2 Extreme, and this one over here has the Intel Core Ultra 7, which is different, right? But they both perform pretty much the same. Like these two CPUs are basically pretty much the same. The only difference is that one is AMD and the other one is Intel, because I've been using both devices and I honestly can't tell that much of a difference when it comes to performance-wise between these two devices. This one does feel a little bit better because of the 32 gigabytes of RAM and all that. And of course, the screen is the first thing that you're going to notice, of course. The only negative thing I would have to say about this is that the weight. This is much heavier than this over here, but it's not that much of a difference as well. So if you ask me which of these two devices am I going to keep and which one I'm going to sell, honestly, I think I'm going to be selling this one because of the price that I can get for this one is still actually pretty damn good. I could still get around 900 or 850 for this because it's in great conditions. And, you know, I do prefer the MSI Claw 8i. And honestly, the other thing that I've been thinking is that since these two are very similar when it comes to power, it just doesn't make sense for me, and it's kind of boring to just make the same gameplay for this one and the same gameplay for this one. It feels just kind of boring. So what I'm thinking is that I might sell this one and I might buy the cheaper one, which is the white one, which is around $500, and I might get that one. That way I can actually make videos on this one, which is the most powerful system, and on the Xbox Ally, the white one, which is the weaker system. And honestly, I think it's a good device for playing certain games. So I'm considering doing that. Let me know in the comments if I should do that or not. So right now, if I have to sell one of these two devices, it has to be the Xbox Ally X. So now what about the Nintendo Switch 2? Obviously, I'm going to tell you right now, this is not going to go in anywhere. This right here, I really love this device. I love the fact that it's very nice and light. I love the fact that Nintendo games here actually play and look very, very good. This has a 7.9-inch screen, 1080p VRR, and it's capable up to 120 Hertz, which is not bad. Now, of course, when it comes to spec-wise, this is going to be more powerful. This has 32 gigabytes of RAM versus 12 gigabytes of RAM. This has a 1 terabyte drive versus 256 gigabytes. So obviously here you do need to get one of those micro SD express cards, which are getting expensive. But yeah, that's one of the negative thing about this. But the huge great thing about the Nintendo Switch 2 is that the price is just $449. That's it. And if you want to get it with a game, it's $499. And obviously, by the time you watch this video, this might go up in price. And I'm telling you, if this goes up $50, it's still worth it in 2026. It's still worth it, even if it goes $500 for this. And of course, if you're looking for a console or a handheld that you could just install the games and play it without doing any, you know, tweaking for the motion blur and all that stuff, this is the obvious choice for you. And of course, the best hybrid console out there in the market, it's still the Nintendo Switch 2. So right now I can be playing a video game here, and I could just put it on the dock on the TV, and just like that, it switches to the TV. And of course, you got the separate Joy-Cons, which is another huge advantage. And one thing that I didn't like about the Switch is, of course, the flatness. It has no ergonomic whatsoever because it's totally flat. But the positive thing about that is that we get companies like, you know, Nixie and other companies that are actually going to be making or are making controllers for this device, or cases like this right here that just makes it feel super, super, super comfortable. And just like these are the Kill Switch that I've been using, and I really, really love them. And it just makes it feel a lot better. And when you have these kind of grips, it just feels like a grown-up system. It really, really does. So yeah, and of course affordability, obviously, that if you're asking me right now, I want a handheld, which one should I buy? The obvious number one choice I'm going to tell you right now is this one right here. Unless you really want to download games from Xbox Game Pass, PC, or Steam, or Epic, then yes, I would really recommend another handheld besides the Nintendo Switch 2. But before I jump to recommending this or that, I would definitely recommend the Steam Deck because it's very similar to a console that you can just install any games whatsoever from the Steam store, but it does feel like a normal console because of the operating system, and the price is also very similar to the Nintendo Switch 2. This OLED is $549 versus $449, and of course with the Steam Deck you still can do a lot of things besides playing on Steam. You can still do a lot of tweaking and hacking and install other operating systems here as well, like Windows and dual boot here, and you can install launchers from Ubisoft and all that, which I have videos for. So yeah, from this I would really recommend the Steam Deck. And then if you want to go something higher from the Steam Deck, I would recommend one of these two devices. But yeah, right now I'm definitely going to be keeping this because I just love Nintendo Switch device, and the video games and the third-party games that are being imported here are actually really good, and they're running pretty damn nice and smooth. And of course, like I said, the great thing, huge advantage about playing here is that you don't have to be adjusting graphic settings or anything like that. So of course, I truly recommend the Nintendo Switch 2. So of course, I'm going to be keeping it. And now before I finish this video, because this device I was actually going to leave it out, but I decided to go ahead and add it here, and it's the PlayStation Portal. Now this right here, obviously I'm going to keep it because this is how I actually interact with my PlayStation 5. This is only $200, and I seen it as cheap as $150 used, and I seen this new on sale for $179. So obviously this is not a standalone system, right? Sort of. Now you can actually play without a PlayStation 5 because it has the cloud service, which is really good. But to play these games, you need to be paying for PlayStation Premium. So you actually have to pay a subscription to play on this stand alone. But obviously, I'm not going to sell this because it's a great device. I love the screen, 8 inches, both great. This is 1080p, and this only goes up to 60 hertz. Now, there's rumors that there might be an OLED version of this coming up in the future. And I don't know, maybe I'll get it, maybe not, because I'm actually very satisfied with this. And I barely use my PlayStation 5. But honestly, if you have a PlayStation 5 and you're looking for a handheld where you can play your PlayStation 5 games in remote play, this is the best options out there in the market. Even though, yes, you could do PlayStation 5 remote play here, and on the Steam Deck. You can do that there as well. But this, when it comes to, you know, hardware-wise and the motions and the rumble and all that, this is the best one. This is obviously the best one. So, of course, I'm keeping the PlayStation Portal. Of course, I'm keeping the Nintendo Switch because it's honestly the best handheld out there in the market when it comes to affordability and performance. Honestly, I really love this device. And of course, out of this or this, I'm definitely going to be keeping this until the great next thing actually comes out, which could be another refresh MSI Claw with the new Intel Panther Lake, which would be amazing. But yeah, let me know in the comments, what do you think? Which device would you actually keep? Would you keep the MSI Claw? Would you keep this? Would you keep the Nintendo Switch? Do you prefer the Steam Deck or the PlayStation Portal? Which device would you prefer and why? Let me know in the comments. So guys, thanks for watching this video, and let me know what you think about this. Thanks for watching. Till next time, guys. Bye-bye.